YouTube, I'm Brandon, and before we talk about any Amish Mafia, Episode 3, Paradise, I need you to do me a favor. At the bottom of the screen, hit like and subscribe. I want to actually show you my shirt that my friend gave me. It's an Amish Mafia shirt. It's a picture of an Amish man with guns and everything, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'm going to give him a shout out. Thank you. You know who you are. And, wow, tonight, Paradise. A lot has happened in this episode tonight. Now, Paradise, let's talk about Paradise real quick. It's a small town. The buildings are run down. I actually took a trip out to Lancaster. I'm going to be going again shortly, too. And it's by Strasbourg. It's a great little area, but the people act weird and strange. It's now Jolene's territory. That's Jolene. It's his territory now because he helped in the last episode with the Mennonite construction problem getting Levi his business back. So he's in charge now of Paradise. Whatever goes down falls on him. He has to collect the Amish aid. Even though he's a Mennonite, he has to collect the Amish aid from everybody. And one problem he had was with a woman. Now, a woman who owns a diner in Paradise comes and says, there's a strange man eating there every day. And Jolene said, okay, I'll come out, take a look. The Amish people are very concerned with the slightest things, and they do report it to Levi. He is the cops, he is the boss, Levi. So when Jolene pulls up, who is it? It's Freeman, Esther's and John's brother, Freeman. Freeman is possessed by the devil. He sits in the diner all day with his coffee, staring at people, scaring off the business. So Jolene said, listen man, you can't sit here. You better not be here tomorrow or we're going to have a problem. See, Freeman's possessed by the devil. I never see him talk in any of the episodes. He really doesn't. He recently got arrested for threatening someone. Esther was pretty happy because that's less stress off her. She doesn't have to live in fear. He's shunned by the community, Freeman, for stabbing, for pulling a knife actually, just pulling a knife on his parents. So the community shunned him out. So, yeah, and Merlin and Alan Byler, SWAT's Amish, he's African American, work together to throw a hut party. Now, what is a hut party? A hut party is when all the Amish kids come at night, they pay their admission, and they get in, they have a party with drinks, alcohol, and they do whatever they want. So Merlin said, hey Alan, come work for me. Let's do this right, and we'll screw Levi without him knowing, stealing business. So they throw this big party with drinks, DJs, top-notch stereo systems. He gives all the kids alcohol, and he charges a lot of money for them to come in. To get the party started, he actually brought in English kids to wild it up. We saw girls kissing everybody, dancing on tables, everybody acting wild, stealing Levi's business because he usually does the hut parties, but they did it in his territory. But guess who was there? Jolene, one of Levi's boys. Jolene got Levi, brought him here. He was there in the cover actually. He couldn't believe his eyes, what Alan Byler was doing. So Levi told him, and Alan did it. No, Levi and Jolene. Jolene got out of the car. He got a skunk and put it in the vent system. So the whole place would fill up with that smell, and everybody ran out. In the end, Levi won because Alan and Merlin got screwed because the place they ran in, the whole air system, the ducts, the vents, it all had to be replaced. So whatever profit they made that night, they lost it because they had to replace everything. There's another problem in the community. Also, some guy was selling mushrooms. Caleb and Alvin took care of him. You're not allowed to have drugs in the community. It's bad. See, Levi said, one of you guys taste this right now. Let's make sure this is the real drug. And Alvin, this man, before Caleb, he said, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, boss. To show his respect, to show he had enough balls and the courage to do it. Caleb didn't do it. But it was the stuff you saw him walking crazily, walking, shaking and everything. So he's going to build his respect. So now Alan lost his money. Alan has no money. He's kind of poor right now. So he has to do small, odd jobs. He came up with this one great idea. He hides the Amish kids' cars. See, Amish, they're not allowed to drive cars, but I believe they could ride in them. So for $50 a month, he'll hide your car. For the parents don't know. He actually been doing gambling, poker. See, Amish kids, they don't have that many thrills in their lives. They don't do anything wild. So gambling at a poker tournament, that's pretty wild because they never left the front porch. Also, he's making bets on volleyball games. He used to do softball, but that's Levi's territory. Also, another thing we saw that the Amish do lots of labor, which causes them to get back pains. Now, they can't take drugs or medicine, but they could use chiropractors. The bad thing about this is they'll say, oh, my back, I can't work, and they'll steal money from the Amish aid, which is provided to everybody. Esther didn't want to pay Jolene, because Jolene's Mennonite, the Amish aid. She never put a payment in. Esther actually called Levi up and said, I want to apologize for what happened in Florida, when she said, you don't like me, you don't know a lot about me. She tried to make peace with him, as I feel she's going to get married. Why would she make peace with him, you two? What do you think about that? What would Levi do to Alan and Merlin now? Now, to send a message to Alan, Jolene and Alvin went over there to Alan Byler's farm. He has a chicken coop. He was raised on a chicken farm. His dad built the whole chicken thing, and they destroyed it. They stole chickens and destroyed it, sending him a message for what they did to Big Steve. Yes, Big Steve left town with his family for a couple of days, but Alan Byler trashed his house, as we saw in an earlier episode. So he did trash his house, and now that he has proof that he did it. Also, Esther's looking for a husband. Everybody's saying, Esther, it's time to get married. Your father will want you to have a good husband. And do you think she is going to get married to Levi? What do you think about that? And at the end of the show, we saw funerals. Funerals usually take places in barns. In funerals, the body's transported in a buggy. It's a longer buggy. Also, when you get buried, they do two things. They dress you in white to show that you're pure and black. If you are buried in black, it means you have a problem with your soul. You have a tattoo, earring, you did something bad. At funerals, it's in a pine casket that they screw shut. They usually bring kids to funerals for they can stare death right in the eye, saying, hey, you're going to be here one day. What's your story when you're going to die? Do you want to be in white or do you want to be in black? Also, at the end of the episode, we saw Wayne confront Merlin outside the funeral and say, hey man, you haven't been paying me. What's wrong? That's not right. Also, that's not right. Now, Merlin knew him ever since he was a kid. So, you two, I have a couple questions for you. What's going to happen between Merlin and Wayne? What is Alan Byler going to do now to Levi because he hurt his family by tearing down his chicken coop? Will Esther try to get peace with Levi because Levi wouldn't forgive her? You think they're going to get married in the future? What do you think is going to happen in the future? Please comment, like, and subscribe. What fights, what action are we going to see in episode 4? Thank you, YouTube. Have a great night.